Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Nick here, back again with a brand new video today. So we're doing another tier list update video. So if you guys have seen the first two tier list videos I did, you know that I did the first tier list video when I did my series in which I reviewed every single MCU movie up to the release of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And then I did another tier list update video 2 months ago when Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse came out. And what I did was I took my original MCU movie list and I put all the Sony Spider-Man universe films up against this list. And now that Secret Invasion is wrapped up, I'm going to rank every single MCU Disney Plus series that's come out up to Secret Invasion among these movies. So some things I want to get out the way real quick before I go ahead and rank them is I know I might get some comments about why Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is not anywhere on this list. That's because when I did the first tier list video, I did that before Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 came out. And I mentioned in my Spider-Man update video for this that I will rank Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 among these eventually. When exactly, I'm not sure. I might rank that either at the end of this year, depending on how much content we get, although given the writers and actors strike, we might not get that much content. And if not the end of this year, then maybe the end of next year if we get a lot of stuff next year. And if not then probably by the end of Phase 5. I don't know. I feel like whenever we get like a huge heap of just new MCU projects that I haven't ranked yet, that'll be the best time. Just go ahead and rank those among these. The other thing I want to talk about real quick is the criteria for this list. If you have not seen the first two tier list videos, I suggest that you go and watch those before you watch this. It'll explain why everything is placed where it is. So basically, the S tier are the movies that, for me personally, I love. These are movies I think are just excellent movies. These are some of the best ones that Marvel's ever put out. A tier is the I love it but not good enough to go up here, or the I really like it category. So these are the movies that I either love them, or if I don't love them, I kind of love them, or I really like them, but I don't feel they're good enough to go up here. And then the B tier is kind of more so the I like it category. So these are the movies that I do enjoy and I do like, but there's maybe some things about them that maybe I don't necessarily love, so I don't feel like they're good enough to go higher. The C tier is the it's okay tier. So this is more so like movies that like I think these are watchable. I think they're fine. I can enjoy watching them, but they have so many issues that I don't feel they're good enough to go higher, but they're also not so flawed that they go in D tier. Now with D tier, this is the it's not for me category. So for me, if I put something in D tier, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a horrible movie or a horrible show, but just means it personally didn't do anything for me. Although if I do think that a show or a movie is horrible, it's without a doubt going in the D tier. But as you can see, there is nothing in D tier because out of everything I ranked, I don't feel I've seen anything just yet that hasn't done anything for me, because even the ones that are low in the C tier, these movies at least do something for me, but not enough to go higher. So yeah, I kind of just want to explain this criteria real quickly. Oh yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and rank every single MCU Disney Plus TV series and special. Okay, so first up we have WandaVision. Now WandaVision is actually my second favorite Disney Plus show. I'll talk about number one when we rank that one. This for me was a great show. This is one of my favorite things that Marvel has done. The era when it came out was great because you're constantly wondering what was coming out next. They also took a lot of risks with this show. They tried something different. I love the exploration of Wanda's character in this one. I only really have one flaw with this show, and that's the fact that I felt like the ending didn't have as many consequences as it maybe could have. But I understand that the reason they did that was so that they could set up Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, so I can kind of forgive it for that. I gave this show an A, and I still stand by that, and so even though I don't think it's a perfect show, I still think it's a great show, and I'm going to put it in the S tier. Where exactly, I'm not entirely sure, because it is one of my favorite projects from Phase 4. I don't like it as much as Spider-Man No Way Home or Shang-Chi, so I think maybe here. I don't think I want to put it above Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I think that's, yeah, I don't think I want to put it higher than Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and putting it a little bit higher than Black Panther Wakanda Forever may rub some people the wrong way. These are excellent movies though, but just, if I put something above something in S tier, that doesn't mean that the stuff at the bottom of it's bad. It's really a compliment. It goes to show you how many amazing things Marvel has made. So yeah, I think right now there's a good spot for WandaVision. So Falcon and the Winter Soldier is an interesting one for me because I find this to be a very underrated show, very underappreciated. I know some of you will probably just go ahead and put it in like B tier or C tier. Personally, I think I probably would put it in the A tier. Where exactly? I'm a bit torn, because like I think it's a good show and there's a lot of stuff about it that I do really like, but it's not as fun as something like WandaVision, And I'm a huge Captain America fan. Captain America's my favorite superhero. I even have the Captain America shirt on as I'm recording this. Totally not planned, by the way. But it is definitely my least favorite of like any Captain America project, but it's still great. I give this one an A-. These movies are B pluses, so it's definitely going above them. Maybe, yeah, maybe right below Thor: Love and Thunder, which I know might be a little bit of a hot take, but if you guys know, I actually like Thor: Love and Thunder quite a bit. So yeah, um, yeah, maybe right here is a good spot for it for now. I might revisit that later. Okay, now Loki is another show that I do really enjoy. I definitely like this one more than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't like it as much as WandaVision though. I can't wait for season 2. I think season 2 is going to be great, but the reason that this one's not as high as maybe some of the other ones are is because I feel like the way the show ends, like it's not a bad ending at all, but because it's a cliffhanger, we don't know where it's going to go until season 2. I'm not really inclined to rank it based on its full story. I'm more so inclined to rank it based on what we've seen so far. And I think for now, I might put Loki. Oh, that's actually kind of hard. Maybe here? Yeah, I think maybe here. As I'm looking at this whole thing, I think right now Loki probably would do great above The Amazing Spider-Man and before Age of Ultron. Again, I might revisit this later. We'll see. But yeah, I think for now is a good spot for Loki. What If is another show for me that I think is very good. I give this one an A minus. I still stand by that. I will say though, of these original 6, okay, so from WandaVision up to Moon Knight, heck, I'll throw Miss Marvel in there too. What If is definitely my least favorite of the bunch. Not because it's necessarily bad or anything. I like the animation for it, the voice acting, and the concepts are really cool. But because it's a multiverse show, it was something new every episode, which is good. I like the fact that they took risks with that. But some episodes were stronger than others, and it was all just a build towards the final act. And great show. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it in season 2. Hopefully they can, do some things that are a little bit more memorable in my opinion. But still a really good show. I think for now, yeah, I'll put it there. I'll put it below Falcon the Winter Soldier because of these original 7, it is my least favorite of the bunch. Still very good, though. If somebody would put this higher or lower, I kind of get it. But yeah, I think for now, What If goes good there. Now I've arrived at Hawkeye. So if you guys saw my review, you know that Hawkeye is my personal favorite of all the MCU Disney Plus series and specials. Also, Hawkeye is the only MCU Disney Plus show that I've actually given an A+ to. So without a doubt, going in S tier. But where exactly I rank it among these, I'm not sure. So everything from Endgame up to here, I've given an A+ to. But the thing is that I have to call into question, do I really like Hawkeye more than some of these other movies? Probably not. But I think for what it was, I thought it was a great show. I thought they executed almost nearly to perfection. This show had like barely any missteps in my opinion. So I think putting it up here is definitely a great spot for it. I might revisit this later. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so Moon Knight's a show that is going to be kind of weird to rank because I personally really enjoyed the show. I know a lot of other people did too, but I know that some people feel like it's overrated. This is my 3rd favorite show that we've seen with the MCU. And I think for Moon Knight, I think I'm going to put it right here. It's definitely going above Loki. I don't know if I feel good enough to rank it higher than these, but yeah, I think, near like the low top of A tier is a pretty good spot for it. Some of the pacing towards like the last few episodes isn't the best, and very similarly to Loki, which is actually appropriate that I have it placed next to Loki. There's still a certain amount of ambiguity with the ending, and so I kind of feel like we don't even know if we're going to get a season 2. I hope we do get a season 2. Because, like, I don't know if I would say this show ended on a cliffhanger, but, like, it ends with something of, like, oh, we got something a little bit more for you, and you just don't know about it. So, I don't know. If we do end up getting a season 2, which Disney, please give us a season 2 for this show, my thoughts on the show might change over time. But I think as the way it stands now with the season 1 that we have, I think here's a good spot for it. Okay, so these next 6 things that I'm going to rank, okay? Before I did my series, which I reviewed all of these, I actually had not seen any of these. Actually, no, I did see Guardians of the Galaxy The Holiday Special. I reviewed that when it came out. The other 5, though, so... Well, I saw this when it came out, too, sorry. These 4. I apologize for all the stuttering. Yeah, so Miss Marvel, Groot, She-Hulk, and Werewolf by Night, I had not seen before I did my reviews. So Miss Marvel was a show that, like, I didn't see for almost an entire year. And then when I finally got around to watching it, I really enjoyed it. I see the hype around it. I see why people in my life told me it was really good. I like the show a lot. And I said in my review, and I think I still stand by this, that of, like, the stuff that I've covered so far here, I think this sits comfortably in the middle. So I think it's going to go right between Moon Knight and Loki. It's not a perfect show. My big overall issue with it is that near like the middle of the show, we go on this kind of like detour when we could have just gone straight for that final thing, the final episode. So we had a good finale, but we went on this weird detour there, which was actually fun. It was interesting, but I didn't feel like it really did much for the finale, and I felt like we could have just reserved that for a season 2, or maybe for the Marvels movie, or for whatever continuity for the character. So I felt like we could have reserved that for a later time. However, I think minus that, this was a really great show, and I think it sits comfortably in the middle of Hawkeye, WandaVision, Moon Knight, Loki, Falcon Winter Soldier, and What If. So I think for now this is a good spot for it. Yeah, I think that's an appropriate spot for it. So now we have the I Am Groot shorts, and this is weird because these are just like cute little 5-minute shorts. And I felt weird about reviewing this when I did, but I was like, you know what, I might as well just go ahead because it is technically canon. This is the only project within the entire MCU that I would say is not essential. So I feel like everything ranked up here, in order to like keep track of the whole story, you are going to want to watch all of these at least once. Even some of these stuff down here, which isn't necessarily that great, has some good stuff going for it, and it is important to the story, so you will want to watch these if you want to keep up with the current stuff. But I Am Groot's the only thing that's not essential because it's really just cute little shorts that takes place in between the first 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So, but it does what it does. It does what it needs to do pretty well. I mean, it's just cute little stuff that puts a smile on your face. I want to quote Sean Chandler, who's a YouTube critic that I really love. He called these I Am Groot shorts like one last thing he'll let his kid watch while they're brushing their teeth before they go to bed. That like defines it perfectly because there's not really any reason for this to exist other than to put a smile on your face. So the only reason you would ever want to watch this is because you're a fan of Groot, which actually I am. But, it's kind of just like, it's a cute show, and it does what it needs to do well, but it's not essential. So I think I'm going to put it in B tier. And I'm going to put it at the bottom for now because even though this causes me less stress than Iron Man 3, there's no real reason for it to exist other than for them to have cute Groot stuff. So, I mean, on an enjoyment level, I probably would have it higher than some of these because it doesn't frustrate me as much. But on a technical level and on just like a overall just my feelings of it level, bottom of B tier. It's cute. I enjoy them. They're funny, but they're not essential, so it's going here. Okay, now She-Hulk Attorney at Law is an interesting one, because again, this is another show that I didn't watch for like almost a whole year, and it wasn't because I didn't want to watch it, I just kept putting it off. This is a show that if you guys saw my review for it, I had a lot of mixed feelings about it. I didn't think it was bad. In fact, the beginning of the show I actually really liked, and you guys will know in that review that it was more so the ending of the show that really kind of just like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to yawn as much. It was the ending of the show that really kind of just like threw me for a loop, and I was kind of just like, I don't know how I feel about that, because it kind of became really clear near the ending that they didn't have a cohesive idea of what they wanted to do with this. And I don't think it's a terrible show. I definitely think it's overhated. And, so it's not a bad show, but I think it's going to go in the B tier. I gave it a B when it came out, and I still stand by that. I think maybe I'll put it, no, maybe I think a little bit higher than Captain Marvel. But I think these two are kind of interchangeable because Captain Marvel was a good movie, but there was nothing amazing about it. And like it had like a good idea, a good premise, but it was just like it kind of lacked something, if you know what I mean. This one had a good idea, or this one had good ideas, but it didn't do anything with it. So, it's a show that the beginning of it was really good and I was getting into it, and then the last few episodes my issues piled on. So, overhated though. I think Tatiana Maslany, I hope I'm saying her name right, she was great. I loved her in the show. Very charming character. I was a lot more sold on the character than I was in the actual show. And so even though it's not my least favorite like Marvel project, it is in the lower half of it because unfortunately it's not as good as it could have been. And of the actual like shows that Disney Plus has had, it is my least favorite. I'm not including I Am Groot in that because these are just cute shorts. In terms of actual full-on shows, this is my least favorite, but it's not terrible. So I think B tier is a good spot for that for now. Werewolf by Night, directorial debut from Michael Giacchino, one of my favorite composers in film. I was really surprised by how good this was, and I'm definitely putting it in A tier. I want to think about it a little bit more before I actually place it somewhere because I gave this an A-. I still stand by that, so it's definitely going to rank higher than these B pluses that I got here. But my only big complaint was that it was too short. It was only like a 45-minute special, I think it was, or a 50-minute special. I honestly wished it was like an hour and a half because it was directed really well. There was some risks they took with it. Cool special. I really like, I can't give Michael Giacchino enough credit for how well directed it is, and it looks great and it's well acted. But had it been longer, that would have been like the cherry on top, you know. So unfortunately, it's not good enough to go in S tier, but it is a nice change of pace for the MCU. I think for now, I ought to think about this for a second. I think I'm gonna put it right below Loki, because I feel like the idea is great and I feel like it executed itself very well. It was just too short. And everything above it, I feel like did what they needed to do just a little bit better. So I think the middle of A tier for right now is a good spot for Werewolf by Night. Okay, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. So I don't like it as much as Werewolf by Night. However, if you guys saw my review for this when it came out, you guys know that I did really enjoy the special. It is a bit silly, although I know that's what they were going for. I think it's definitely very funny, so it's definitely going in A tier. Before I actually place it, though, like among the stuff, I want to say that, like, there were some moments in it where I was like, wait, are they really doing that? I was like, that's interesting, but not in a bad way, but kind of just like, I did not expect them to do that, but I still thought it was really fun, and we actually get some big reveals in it that I was not expecting. So, yeah, I think it's a very good special. I think, actually, I'll put it at the top of all the B pluses. I gave this a B plus. Everything up here is A minus. I think of all these B plus things, I think the holiday special might actually be the best one. I know it might seem weird to put the holiday special above Guardians Volume 2. Personally, I just think this had a better idea of what it wanted to do and just executed it better. So yeah, I think this part of A tier is a good spot for that. Okay, now we finally arrived to the final show that we've had so far with Secret Invasion. So if you guys saw my spoiler review for this, you guys know that I really liked the first 5 episodes of the show. And I kind of liked the finale. The finale had some good things going for it, but I thought they really just, like, the execution wasn't there. And this is one of those shows that, very similarly to She-Hulk, started off really good, and then kind of fell off near the end. So, you know, I don't think it's terrible. I don't know if I was necessarily that I'm disappointed by it, but I was underwhelmed by the way the show concluded. And so I think for now, it's going to go in B tier. And I think for now I'm going to put it above She-Hulk. I definitely like it more than She-Hulk because it had a better idea of what it wanted to be than She-Hulk. But it's not going to rank very high among these because it was just not as good as it could have been. And so I think that for now this is a good spot for Secret Invasion. Let me know what you guys think about placing it here, because I know some of you guys are just going to go ahead and place it down here, or some people might actually place it up here. I don't know. But I think right now Beast tier is a good spot for Secret Invasion because it was a good show, a lot of good stuff going for it, but it just like fell off near the end. So yeah, I think now there's an appropriate place for Secret Invasion. Actually, before I end the video, I want to real quick say that if I were to rank Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in this list, it would go in S tier. Where exactly? I don't know, but it would go in S tier, in case you guys are wondering. Okay, now that I've ranked everything, I'm going to revise this and see if I would change anything. So I think Hawkeye can stay there. I think for now there's a good spot for Hawkeye because it's an A+, but I don't know if I necessarily like it as much as Far From Home, Doctor Strange. So I think this is a good spot for now. The A's. Yeah, now that I think about it, this is definitely a good spot for WandaVision. Okay, so we got Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, Loki, Werewolf. Actually, hold on. I want to think about this for a second, because Werewolf by Night... You know what? I think I'm actually going to change the rank around a little bit. I think I'll put it... I gotta think. Maybe right below Multiverse of Madness. Multiverse of Madness actually, like, I felt execute itself better. And actually, while I'm at it, I think I'm going to put Love and Thunder above it. Because I felt Love and Thunder knew more so... Well, it's not that Werewolf by Night didn't know what it wanted to be, but it was just too short. So I think for now... Yeah, I think this feels a little bit more comfortable, at least in my opinion. And then... Falcon the Winter Soldier, What If... Yeah, I think that's a pretty good ranking for that. And yeah, the B pluses are in order. Yeah, now that I've revised this, I think this is a pretty good list. The only change I made is Werewolf by Night because I had to take into consideration the fact that it was short and didn't have like a full story. So yeah, I feel like it's still pretty much in the middle of A tier, but yeah. I think this is a pretty solid tier list. Let me know what you guys think about this. Also, I should have mentioned at the beginning, everything that's on this tier list is solely my opinion. If you disagree with it, that's totally fine. Let me know what your opinion on this tier list is down in the comments below. And let me know how you would rank these. I actually am curious to hear how you guys would rank this. And especially, let me know where you would rank Secret Invasion, because I know that there's a lot of mixed feelings on this show. So let me know where you guys would place this, as the show just recently wrapped up. So yeah, that's everything. We wrapped up the tier list video. Hope you guys enjoyed this tier list update video. I have no idea when the next update will be. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we'll see depending on how much content we get when the next one comes out. But whenever I feel we get a reasonable amount of content, I will update this, as I do enjoy updating this. And actually, whenever I decide to like rewatch these movies, I'll probably go through a rewatch of a lot of these, maybe like in the latter half of this year, maybe at the beginning of next year. I don't really know. If my opinions on any of these change, I'll let you know, because opinions on movies and shows do change over time. So if I decide to move some of these around, I will inform you on that. Yeah, I think this is going to be it for the video today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have not checked out any of my reviews for any of these videos, please go check that out. I got playlists on my channel for everything I reviewed here. Also, if you guys have not seen the first two tier list videos, go watch those. It gives you a lot better insight on why I have things ranked where they are. Yeah, thank you guys so much as always for watching the video. I really appreciate it. If you want to help out the channel, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified when those videos. And also make sure that you hit the like buttons, because it really helps out the channel. So yeah, thank you guys so much as always for watching. And yeah, that's been it. Peace.